News of Daniel Ricciardo parting ways with McLaren after this season were unfortunately expected, but still leave us shocked with how he has been treated. He has publicly not had a bad word to say about McLaren, although, using a McLaren road car as a table, as well as a chair, while dropping oily fried chicken on it during the summer break, seemed like a big middle finger right back at Zach Brown. Looks like the chicken was great though. Now, it would be hard to find a better person in the F1 paddock, especially one who is the only McLaren driver to have won a Grand Prix in the last decade, which is more than Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Jenson Button, Stoffel Van Dorn, Sergio Perez and Kevin Magnussen could do for McLaren during that time. Recognize any of those names? Though thoroughly disappointed, Daniel has maintained his professionalism and hopefully he'll be back with a drive lined up in no time. The sport would be at a loss to see Daniel leave, but Daniel would be a shining light anywhere he ended up. Anyway, with all due respect, it seems Daniel turned down any McLaren drive in Formula E, or Indycar, but who could blame him after being treated that way? It has been reported that Zach Brown has offered Daniel to Chip Ganassi, to race the famous number 10 Indycar for Chip Ganassi Racing, in lieu of getting Alex Palou released from his Ganassi contract, so he could take up a spot with McLaren Racing. Now, that doesn't tell us if it's with McLaren SP, McLaren's new Formula E team, or the Formula 1 team. After all, there is still some lingering doubt hanging over the Oscar Piastri move to McLaren until the Formula 1 Contract Recognition Board makes its finding clear on the whole Alpine, McLaren, and Piastri situation next week. So, here now are 5 scenarios for Daniel heading into 2023. Stay tuned to catch them all and leave your comments below. Before we get into it, please help us out by hitting that like button, subscribe for more sports content and ring the bell so you can stay up to date. Okay, let's get into it. Scenario 1. Daniel agrees to head to Chip Ganassi Racing, which releases Alex Palou to McLaren, on the condition he leaves IndyCar. That would mean him joining the Formula E team, if Piastri takes Daniel's seat at McLaren, and would leave Felix Rosenqvist in IndyCar where he would keep his seat at McLaren SP, driving alongside the other incumbent Pato O'Ward, and new signing Alexander Rossi, who spent some time in Formula 1 but will take the new third entry from McLaren SP, after moving from Andretti Autosports. Scenario 2. Daniel goes to Williams to replace Nicolas Latifi. There had been rumours that Williams would be running Renault engines next year with the arrival of Oscar Piastri. However, those rumours were shot down by Williams boss Joseph Capito prior to the Oscar Piastri saga kicking off. Williams have a deal to run Mercedes engines until 2025, although Toto Wolff had indicated that Mercedes may like to provide fewer customer engines. This would give Daniel the Mercedes stepping stone, from Williams to Mercedes, following in the footsteps of George Russell, as Daniel has won on Lewis Hamilton's seat at Mercedes, should Lewis retire at the end of 2023. McLaren is running Mercedes customer engines as well, but they do not hold the same kind of links to Mercedes as Williams does. Scenario 3. Daniel goes to Haas on a 1-year deal while any contract proceeds need to be refunded to McLaren. Haas have been improving in the midfield and could do with some experienced driving stability, to partner Kevin Magnussen. This is assuming that Mick Schumacher is not recontracted for 2023 and beyond. Mick may be on Alpine's radar, but we all hope he still has a seat for next year given the improvements he has made, when not thinking about the cars he has split in half this year. Daniel going to Haas could be a stopgap before his previously mentioned desire to take Lewis Hamilton's seat at Mercedes, or otherwise it could be one foot in the door towards a drive in NASCAR with Stewart Haas racing in the future. We all know how much Daniel loves NASCAR and this may suit him more than an IndyCar drive, as he had previously held doubts about doing oval races in an IndyCar. Scenario 4. Daniel goes to Alpine in a direct swap. Daniel was bringing Renault back up the field in his 2 years with them before they rebranded to Renault's racing and sports car brand Alpine, after he headed off to McLaren. Working under Otmar Safnauer might be better than Cyril Abiteboul, and having a familiar car could probably do Daniel the world of good. But, Alpine just tried to make Fernando Alonso do 1 year of Formula 1 only, then follow that with a year of sports cars in a 2-year deal, which he didn't want, and which drove him away to Aston Martin, who could give him 2 years in Formula 1. They also treated Oscar Piastri like a puppet, rather than the 3 consecutive year champion he was. Firstly, by making him sit out this year, which he wasn't thrilled with in the first place, then secondly, trying to farm him out to Williams to get some experience under his belt before returning to Alpine for 2024, once Fernando had been moved to sports cars. These were not the good feelings a champion in the 3 previous years in junior categories was after, aside from the fact that Alpine missed the deadline to get him signed to the F1 seat after Fernando bailed out. So, could poor management come back to be a thorn in Alpine's side, and hold a lot of weight if Daniel has the offer to go there? Scenario 5. Pierre Gasly leaves AlphaTauri to go to Alpine, which is a step up for him and by which many reports suggest, is the only way that he would be able to leave his current team. Red Bull's Helmut Marko has tried to shoot down that rumor, although it still persists, much like McLaren saying they have a contract with Daniel, and that he'll be driving there as per his contract. Daniel moving to AlphaTauri could see him back in familiar Red Bull surroundings and machinery. The appeal may be there to drive a car that he is familiar with and can come to grips with easily, but knowing that he would be driving for the Red Bull number 2 team may be difficult to swallow. Daniel says he wants to stay in Formula 1 and it's the only racing he is thinking about at the moment, and will only agree to sign with another team to stay in Formula 1 if it allows him to be competitive and if the stars align. Well, there are 5 scenarios for you. Which do you think will happen, and what has been your favorite Daniel Ricciardo memory so far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.